Hey guys, welcome back to the Comic Book Lowdown. I'm Wellington. Today I'm going to be doing another Pool Week video for the books of February 20th, 2013. And I have a lot of books, more books than I think I've ever reviewed in one video this week. And I'm just going to jump right into it. I'm going to start off with independent books. And these books come from recommendation from King Gooch 13. He's been recommending this book on his channel for a couple of videos now, and so I decided to pick them up. They didn't have the first issue in my store, so I had to get it online, but they did have the second issue, and I'm talking about Todd, the Ugliest Kid on Earth, and I'm going to just review 1 and 2 together. I really like this book. This is by M.K. Perker and Ken Christensen. And the book is really good. It's very the art in it is very cartoony, and but still it has it doesn't stray from curse words and all that kind of stuff. So I definitely wouldn't say this is for your kids or for the younger audience. It's definitely a mature book, but I think Perker is making a great story here. Excuse me. He's built up Todd as a kid that he's not loved at all, in fact, by anyone, and even when he just tries to do nice things, they've turned back on him. And there's this whole thing with the police chief is very, he's irrational. He's just going after Todd for something that he thinks might do. There's this thing with a killer going around, and there's a lot to cover for this short review, so I might just do a full review later on of this book, or of this whole arc, because it's only 4, and or miniseries I should say. It's only 4 books, and yeah, I definitely recommend it. It's pretty good. I enjoyed it very much, and that's it on that one. Moving on, I got Exo Manowar issue number 10. This is the second part to the prelude of Planet Death, and really awesome. We get some great interaction with Eric and Gafty. Gafty is Eric's partner that got trapped on the ship where what's their names? I forgot their names. The Vine. He got trapped on the ship with the Vine, and he was the one that they were torturing by putting things in his brain and all that kind of stuff. And so there's great interaction between Eric and Gafty, and it seems like he can never not die in this issue, honestly. He just goes through so much in such a short time period, and we get a lot of cool background in their history, going back to the Visigoth times, and then a great wrap up for here, and we're definitely set up for Planet Death, and very happy to see what's going on. I don't know what Earth is going to be like, because we're left in a place that we don't know how Earth is going to be throughout this arc, but I'm very excited to see what happens next. Moving on to my next books, out of Independence, bring in Marvel. I'm going to just start on with the online issue that I have, but I did very much enjoy this issue. And that's Thor, God of Thunder, issue number 5. Sometimes in this issue I couldn't really follow what was going on, but that's just because of all the time period changes that they do. And this wasn't told from the point of view of Thor, it was told from the point of view of Gore, the God Butcherer. And so there was a lot of things of him going in between time periods and all of that it just happened so smoothly that I didn't know which time period I was in sometimes. But the art in this is always great. Jason Aaron put together a great story, and just the way that he weaved everything together for Thor was definitely entertaining, and I'm definitely liking the path, the way that Jason Aaron is setting everything up. And we're still not done with the God Butcher stuff, although this arc is over. We're gonna get the origin of the God Butcher in the next issue or issues. I don't know how long they're gonna do that origin for, but definitely interested in seeing what it's all about. Yeah, I'm really enjoying Thor as most other people are, and that's it on Thor. Really, I don't want to spoil any of the books really, so I'm just gonna give you my thoughts on them real quick. Next, I have Savage Wolverine issue number 2 by Frank Cho, and I definitely enjoyed the first issue of this. This second issue, though, has me really doubting Frank Cho's knowledge of Wolverine, and he himself has even said that he hasn't been very familiar with Wolverine before writing him, and it definitely shows in this issue. His characterization of Wolverine is not Wolverine much at all. He's always getting beat up, first of all. He's not very much of a warrior. He says cripes a lot, and I'm pretty sure that's not something that Wolverine says, even though he also curses a lot, but it's just the way he talks. He makes Wolverine sound like he's like British or something. And also, it's almost as if he's writing a novel in Wolverine's voice, where Wolverine would kind of say things to the point and short. He has Wolverine in this, like, giving out these very detailed, like, dialogues or monologues in himself. He's just giving a lot of detailed information for just falling. For example, he's just falling at one point. He's just giving this very descriptive, detailed play-by-play of his fall, and it's kind of, off character from Wolverine, and I'm kind of trying to look past it, but I want to finish this arc and then see where I'm left at, but I might try the other Wolverine title that's coming out next month, and hopefully that's a lot closer to the character. Although the art in this is very good. If they could get another writer on here and keep Cho on art, I'd be very pleased with that, because I definitely really like the art. There was another thing I didn't like about this before I get to stuff I liked. I think Frank Cho made himself into a character, and that was definitely, if that's true, if anybody else has read it and agrees with me about that being true, I don't think that was cool. Just to make yourself into a character and use him as a character that we should all know, unless I'm just not familiar with this character. But I think he just made it up and just kind of put him into the book. There's a character in here that is kind of just thrown in and with no explanation why. But something that I like besides the art, there was a lot of not cameo moments, but moments to just throw you out into reality. Kind of there's a point where Shauna kind of she compares Wolverine to Hugh Jackman. So I thought that was kind of funny because Hugh Jackman plays Wolverine in the movies. So that part I thought was kind of funny, but there was a lot of things I didn't like about this issue. So I liked the first issue. The second issue was kind of slacking for me, and the story didn't move along too much either. It's just kind of there now. So hoping it gets a lot better, or I'm gonna have to drop it and hopefully get the new Wolverine title that just Wolverine, and hopefully that will be closer to the character. Next up, I got great book. This issue was absolutely awesome, and that is Deadpool issue number 5 by Brian Posehn, Jerry Duggan, and Tony Moore on art. This issue was, pure Deadpool packed with like action and humor. It was very funny. There's a lot of things where Ronald Reagan being the president that's mainly used in this. He throws out all these lines of, like quirky dialogue, and Deadpool doesn't understand any of them because it's not from his time. So, that back and forth that they have there, and that was all very funny, and they all did it in space, just like the space race in the Cold War and all that kind of stuff. So all that stuff was handled very, with a lot of humor. Later, after Deadpool finishes off Reagan, we're getting a really good moment with Agent Preston and Deadpool, and then George Washington and LBJ come in, and then something huge happens between all those characters. Something very big happens, and it puts a lot of emotion into the Deadpool comic. A lot of emotion that people say lacks in Deadpool comics, that they just say it's all, cracks and jokes and all that kind of stuff. But this actually put in some personality and some, real stakes into the character, and we're left off in a very, emotional state. There's a lot going on at the end of this issue, and so with issue 6 we finish off with this whole President's arc, and but something very big happens in this issue. So I definitely say don't miss this issue, because it's very well done. It's very good. Next up, another really emotional issue. The last 3 issues I have here are just very emotional, and I'm going to start off with Nova #1 by Jeff Loeb and Ed McGuinness on art. It was just great. I wasn't expecting too much from Nova. I was really excited for it, but I wasn't expecting what I got from it. And what I got was the Nova named Jesse Alexander. I'm guessing his last name is Alexander because we follow Sam Alexander throughout this. The Nova Jesse Alexander, Sam's father, is telling Jesse or telling Sam these stories of his Nova days, him being very heroic and saving Rocket Raccoon, and just being with the Nova Corps and doing all these missions and handling them very bravely and all this other kind of thing, all this other stuff. And Sam is kind of just, he's a teenager and he doesn't believe his dad, but he's kind of entertaining him. And what we find out is that his father is actually his school's janitor. He's the high school's janitor, the high school that Sam goes to, and that gives Sam a lot of bullies. A lot of bullies pick on Sam because his dad is the janitor. And so I can kind of relate to this, not personally, but kind of personally, because I knew a kid when I was in middle school that his dad was the school's janitor, and a lot of people would give him flack about it just because his dad was a janitor. So, this is a real thing that happens. And throughout this issue, we got Sam really doubting his father because he doesn't know if it's true or not. And he thinks his dad is a loser because his dad misses work a lot, so Sam has to pick up the slack of his dad and do his dad's job after hours so his dad doesn't get fired. And his dad, he drinks a lot, and he's kind of living in the past, and he's very optimistic, but it's kind of sad to see him, so low in his life, but thinking so high. And he passes on the stories to Sam and to his little sister Kayleen, and Sam he's kind of pessimistic toward his dad. He thinks he's a loser, like I said, and he tells his mom that she needs to face the facts that his dad's a loser. And then just at the end of this issue, we get a big moment happens. I won't spoil, but this issue was just packed with emotions and all this kind of stuff that it's kind of like Sam coming to terms with what his life is and just doubting his parents, doubting his dad, and it's kind of, it's a very family-oriented issue, and I definitely really liked it. I definitely recommend it. If you didn't pick up Nova #1, go back and pick it up because it's a very good read, and the art in it is absolutely fantastic. And lastly, I have Daredevil, issue number 23. Of course, I have the poster to this cover, and it's an absolutely awesome cover, and just a great issue. Mark Waid does a great job with Daredevil. It's just, there's everything in this issue emotionally. There's sad, there's humor, there's happiness, there's just everything you can. There's a little bit of anger, just that, the things that happen in this issue. It's just an emotional issue. It's a great starting point. Whoever is messing with Matt Murdock's life, whoever's doing it has this sick plan that they're doing, and we see a little bit of that right at the beginning. We get Foggy, as we see in the last issue. He's been getting tested for cancer, and so because of that, Matt wants to spend his time with Foggy, and Foggy says that he wants to see the world behind Matt's eyes, so behind Daredevil's eyes. So Matt kind of takes Foggy on a little trip around New York City, swinging around on his billy club and all that kind of stuff. And they're just having a great time, and they're, having laughs together and all this kind of stuff. And they talk about it, like, their problems. They talk about things that are happening. And then they go to the doctor's office together, and it's just so sad. And just what happens in this issue is just, I believe every Daredevil writer puts a little something into their story, into Daredevil's story, that pushes the character along emotionally. Just, it seems like one after the other, something bad happens to Matt Murdock. Once he feels like he's, coming back to reality, something is taken from him, or something is, just messed up, and he has to deal with that. And it's so sad to see. It's just, this issue definitely hits, pulls at the heartstrings. And if anything, I recommend Daredevil by Mark Waid, because it's absolutely amazing, hands down. Some news now that I'm done with my comic reviews. Some news, and sticking on the topic of Daredevil, I've finished the 2 trades of the Brubaker Daredevil, Hell to Pay, and I'll be doing a review on this shortly, one of these days now. And just a sneak peek, these were absolutely awesome. Great story by Brubaker. I'm definitely not surprised, but very pleased that the Brubaker Daredevil was so good. It's a lot better than I thought it was going to be, and the art was a lot, I had a lot more fun with the art than I thought I was going to have. So definitely love that Daredevil as well, and I'll be doing a review on it soon enough. And anyways, so that's my video for you guys. I'm Wellington signing off with a comic book lowdown, and I'll see you guys next time.